you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling lost, and if you're feeling like this place, which is the internet, is too overwhelming for you, you're not the only one. And it's not really entirely your fault that you're addicted to scrolling on your phone, watching YouTube videos, doing these things that feel good for the second you're inside of these moments, but then afterwards, they don't feel so great. And you know that, but you keep going back. And it's not really your fault. Again, these platforms are against you, against your human nature, against your weaknesses. And that's what I want to tell you today. One, that these platforms are only going to get better, and these platforms are aligned to keep you on your phone for screen time, not lifetime. And two, that you can escape, you can break free, you can end this vicious cycle of consumption, and start contributing and creating back into the world. And as a result, feel a lot better. Kind of feel like a kid again. Feel like, hey, I'm excited to wake up. Hey, I actually want to do some fun things in the world that I find interesting. And that may seem like a lot right now. So first, we're going to start a bit smaller. We're not going to start with just going right for it. I want to ease into it. And how do you ease into stopping scrolling on your phone? Well, I think the best way to do this is, it depends who you are. If you're me, I've tried blocking the apps. I've tried putting screen limits, time limits. I've tried deleting the apps, but ultimately I hadn't become the person who wouldn't just change the time limit, who wouldn't just unblock the app, who wouldn't just reinstall the app. Because I was not that person, I would do those things and I would find myself back on the endless loop of content, the endless doom scrolling, because that's just what my brain wanted. It felt good for a small moment, and I knew if I was bored or uncomfortable in the work I was doing or the thing I was doing, I could go to my phone and scroll. Suddenly, 30 minutes went by. Suddenly, it's the end of the day. Suddenly, it's bedtime. And yeah, the next day starts, and I didn't do anything the day before, or at least 1/10 of what I probably could have got done had I just not used my phone, not went on social media. So blocking the apps, I don't think is a permanent solution. Time limits can help, yes. But ultimately, if the distraction is there, if there's temptation, there is something that is going to arise when there's a feeling inside of you of boredom, of uncomfortability, of a lack of validation. You're going to go to social media. It's set up to keep you on your phone and associated with those feelings of boredom, those feelings of discomfort, those feelings of validation, and you open it and you go to it because that's what your body needs. That's what your human desires are craving. You need those hits of dopamine, those hits of serotonin. You need them. I don't even know what serotonin is, but I think that's what happens. But what I do know is this. If you want to escape this endless cycle, you can. I've done it myself, and yes, I've fallen back into the loop and got back out and fallen back in and got back out. But I've done it a few times now. And I can tell you some of the simple things that have helped the most. And then I'll get to the more advanced strategy, which I think may help in the long term be a more suitable cure rather than just a band-aid solution. First, if you want to get off your phone and you want to scroll less and you want to do more things that matter to you, you have to first figure out what you want out of life. That's a big question. You don't have to, you can figure it out now and you can change it tomorrow. That's okay. So keep that in mind. But without jumping that far ahead, maybe we can just start something a bit smaller. Let's start with closing our eyes and focusing on our breath for 60 seconds, 1 minute. Can you do that? Can you focus on your breath? Can you watch your thoughts with your eyes closed for 60 seconds? Or go on a 2-minute walk around the block. No headphones, no music. See how these things feel. See how these things bring you a little bit of peace, a little bit of content, a little bit of ease back in your soul. Then up the time on these walks, these meditations, or try something like journaling. Write down your thoughts. Create some text on the page, some words on the page, and just set a timer for, again, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, any amount of time. And brain dump. Just don't stop. You can't stop. That's the only rule. Don't stop writing. Or write down a question, which is holistic, like, what do I want out of life? Why? And answer that. These simple practices, they seem boring, actually make all the difference. They rewire your brain to associate these uncomfortable feelings with not automatically reaching for your phone, but giving it a second thought. This time you spend meditating, walking, and in general, reflecting is time that will come back to help you remember why you're doing things. Remember what you want. Is your phone and grabbing it right now to scroll a part of that? It's not going to work. It's not going to be 100% perfect, but this will give you a bit more mindfulness, and that extra mindfulness, that extra awareness of yourself and what you're doing is critical for moving forward and controlling your attention. Because you're in control of your attention, you can shape it, you can transform it, you can choose what to focus on, and you will choose better for yourself and your long-term vision for what you want if you are more mindful, which starts with simple things like meditation, exercise, walking, any form of exercise. Do it something that's fun to you. I like tennis. I go play tennis. It's been really enjoyable. I could play for 2 hours. I could sweat my balls off, and it's still incredibly fun. It doesn't feel like a chore. I don't have to grit my teeth and go and play tennis. I am excited. I'm running to the tennis court to go play, even if I'm not that great. It's really fun. So find something like that for you, because there is something like that for you. And that is something that I do that is really fun for me, feels like play, but to many others would feel like work. Which brings us to our next topic. Finding things that feel like play to you, but look like work to others. And this is almost always going to be found inside of things that you're curious about. Curiosity, oddly enough, also comes to you when you are spending time with your own thoughts, meditating. Your curiosity kind of peeks out, it tells you what you're interested in, and you can have a good idea of what you want to learn more about. That is not an algorithm, that is your brain and your innate curiosity telling you what you want to learn more about. And these things are exactly what we want to follow on next in the more advanced cure for social media addiction. Obviously, our end result, we want to be more of a creator and a contributor than a consumer. Or, third option here, a curator. Okay, 3 C's versus 1 C. One of these three are probably the most efficient, I guess, as a human to be in most of the time. You're always going to consume things. You can't avoid that, really. It's okay. Choose what you can consume, though, mindfully. And then these three things, curating, contributions, and creations, will come easier. And those three things are what make your soul feel good, and you'll see that for yourself if you try some of what I'm saying. Okay, back on point though. Curiosity. When you have an innate curiosity, something you are craving to learn or do, this is when you forget about your phone being a thing. This is when time fades by quickly and you don't really realize that it's flying so fast. This is when learning is fun. In school, you were taught to learn things that got you good grades, and probably 99% of the things you learned you did not care about. You didn't care about it, and it wasn't fun to learn because you weren't curious about it. When you're a kid, you're curious about a million things, but the last thing you're curious about, for most of us, is which multiplier comes first in BEDMAS. You don't care. You don't see how it connects the dots looking forward, because most of the time, it doesn't. Sorry, school. And the truth is, you can now, as an adult or as someone who is even still in school, choose to focus on the things you actually are interested in. That seems like common sense, but it's not. It's really not. And what I've been trying to do is kind of make an app to do this. I'm going to show you this. I'm not going to show you the full app. I'm just going to explain how it works, because you could not use my app and still apply this idea to your own life. Or you can try my app. Anyways, basically, if you want to eliminate mindless phone addiction from your life for a good portion, or at least reduce your screen time a lot, And you don't want to block any of the apps. You don't want to limit them because I don't think these are permanent solutions. They can help though. They can help. I put my phone on the other side of the room still. That helps. So there's less temptation. Definitely helps. But if you don't have something better to focus on, you're gonna fall back to that thing that you don't really care too much about, but it feels good. So you need a better focus. You find a better focus by finding something you're interested in. You could do that by exploring a list of topics, which I've curated. Curated. It's one of the 3 C's. I've curated a list of topics of 1,000 different things so people can scroll through it. And if something sticks out to them, they can save it. They can look at it. They can then, afterwards, generate a plan for this thing to actually do it and research more, to learn more about it, and to put it into their action, put it into action for their life, and see if this is something they want to go deeper in. A lot of the times, you might find something you're initially curious about, but quickly kind of lose interest for it. People would think you're just chasing fads or going through topics like this guy never sticks with anything. Don't listen to those people. The whole point of life is to find what you enjoy, and you're not going to find what you enjoy if you keep getting stuck on what other people think you are interested in. If you're not interested, move on. That's okay. It's okay. Find something that grabs you, that you don't feel forced to do, that you want to learn more about, and until you do find that thing, keep searching. That is going to be how you sustain your attention on the things you're genuinely interested in. Because if you're genuinely interested, it won't feel like a strain to retain interested in this topic to learn more. It's going to feel fun. It's not always going to feel fun. Obviously, not everything is fun, but it's going to feel less grit more often than not and more enjoyable. Because you're curious, because you're innately driven to learn about this thing. And then, after you get a plan, you can check off the steps, you can do it, and you can celebrate. For Curiosity Quench, every plan, most of them, a lot of them right now, have generated 9 steps, and each of these 9 steps has an associated piece of content you can watch to actually do the step. So you're consuming still, but you're consuming intentionally based on something you're curious about. And I think that's the best way to go about it. I've created this app to try to help myself, and it has, I believe, done that. But as a byproduct too, I became so curious about just making this app that overtook me, and that's what I've been focusing on. So if something takes you and that's what you want to do, don't worry about missing out on something else, because if you're interested, if you're curious, it's going to be enjoyable, it's going to be fun, and a lot of the times, even if it doesn't lead to something in the end, it is worthwhile because you spent time not scrolling on your phone but doing something you're genuinely passionate about. So yeah, that's it for today's video. If you want to get off your phone, let's recap real quick. First things first, follow the simple things. Waking up early, maybe, but most importantly, going to bed early, getting 8 hours of sleep, getting enough sleep for your body. That is like the number one thing to keep your mind fresh. Second, meditation, even for 30 seconds, a minute every day. That's going to help you be mindful. It's going to help catch yourself. You don't want to do that. It's okay. But maybe try some of the other things. Walking. Walking can be meditation itself. Don't go with headphones. Watch your own thoughts as you walk. That could be meditation. Why not? 3. Oh, wait. 3. Number 5, exercise. Walking is exercise too, but exercise or finding a form of play that moves your body that is fun for you and also obviously burns some calories, makes your body a bit tired so you can sleep good at night. It's a recurring cycle. And also I'll throw in there eating better, eating not a bunch of junk, eating for more organic whole foods if you can. Those are going to help a lot. Those things set a really good base for the next step, which is to go find something you're interested in and explore it. Learn about the things you actually want to learn about. As counterintuitive as that may seem to most people, but we don't actually do it. Learn about the things you want to learn about, and you will be interested in learning. You will do these things naturally because they're not straining, they grab you, and you want to do them. And that is my proposal for now. Intentionally choose what you want to focus on by exploring your interests and your curiosities. Consume content related to that to learn more about it, and then keep a cycle going. If you still like this thing, well, keep paying attention to it because it's fun, it's enjoyable. And as a result, you will scroll less on your phone. Maybe not perfect. Maybe you'll still grab it sometimes. That's okay. Everything in moderation. The whole goal here is just to do more often of the things you enjoy. And scroll less on your phone. So, that's it for now. Hope this made sense. That was a long video. I didn't realize it was 15 minutes. You're still here by now. You're good. You got this. You definitely got this. I love you guys. Take care. And please share this with your friends or family if you think they could use it. Anyways, have a great day. I love you. Goodbye.